From Wayward Social in Marshalltown, this is Bobcat Live.
Wrestling team, but we do want to remind you, Wayward has some awesome things going on. Next Friday is our next home game. That's February 6th against Atumwa, but afterwards, join Wayward Social for the fifth quarter. Students pay just $6 for unlimited bowling and shoes, and the game plus only $3 for a slice of pizza. Parents, you come sitting here. You can also enjoy after the game. But Coach Brian Trowbridge, assistant coach, why don't you give Bobcat Nation an opportunity to get to know you a little bit? How long have you been with the program and the coaching side? What's your favorite aspect of working with the girls wrestling program?
So this will be my third year with the girls. I've been around the program quite a while. I wrestled for Marshalltown, graduated in 2018, and then I've pretty much been in the room helping out since throughout college and whatnot. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun working with the girls. It was definitely a change. I like how it's just so new and it's growing every year. Like, it's been almost doubling every year. And the sport's constantly evolving too.
It's almost like you're just seeing history made before your eyes every time. I know currently the all-time wins leader, I don't know for how long, Gigi Lantigua, when she was in, we had her on right after the season after she made state. And I said, how does it feel to be the first person to make it for state? And because you're making history now, and her eyes were like, you don't kind of know what to do with that.
Right. I was on here with her. It was pretty surreal.
Yeah, just to see that. And so as you grow with that program, one of the things as you see girls wrestling just blow up, is this something when you were wrestling growing up that you could see like, oh, I could see girls doing this as well, or was it kind of blew your mind a little bit?
I was actually always kind of surprised that girls wrestling wasn't sanctioned in Iowa, just because wrestling's such a big sport here, and you got states like Texas that have had it sanctioned for a long time. Yeah,
and then you're looking at that and really seeing just the growth there, and then you look at helping out in that assistant coach role. You look at wrestling, and wrestling to me is always a unique sport, is because it seems from the beginning of your wrestling, way back in the elementary grades, all the way through, you're a part of that one program. From wrestling just in general, what's the thing that jumps out to you, both wrestling but also coaching? What's the thing that you love the most?
I'd say just passing on my knowledge to the next generation, being able to show a girl something I know, and then when it works out in a match, it's just magic. I love that. Yeah,
getting to see that. And, had some success as well. Fifth at conference. You've got big stuff going on this weekend with a chance to get some girls to state. Looking back at the season, what has been a highlight for you?
I'd say just the unpredictability. There's been a lot of ups and downs this season. It's been a lot of fun. It's been good seeing how these girls can handle some adversity and come back from it.
And then when you look at, coming in, getting prepped, everything getting towards getting on the mat and seeing who can make it to state, what are you coaching up the girls for to get ready to maximize their effort on Saturday?
We've done about all we can technique-wise, so from here on out, it's just mindset. Just knowing that each and every one of them can be in the mix, and it's just as much their bracket as it is the girl that's seeded first.
Well, and one of those that had to have that mindset last year, Olivia Wise will be on with right after us. She wasn't seeded number one in her bracket, yet she was the one who made it to state because things happen. What can you say both about Madeline and Olivia, who are going to come on? With it being a new sport, they are climbing up the career wins and everything. What can you say about those two young ladies?
Yeah, they've done a great job for us the last couple of years. Obviously, the numbers speak for themselves. And they're a couple girls that me and Coach Cox, we really don't have to remind to work hard. They're always getting after it. we can turn our back on them and have complete trust that they're working in the room.
What does that mean from, coaches talk about that all the time, is it's so much easier for peers to coach each other than often a coach having to remind. How important is that to have those leaders on the mat?
Very important, because, I've been out of school a few years now. Coach Cox is a couple years older than me, and, once you've been around the sport so long, you kind of forget what it's like to be brand new and learning, and girls that are still in high school, sometimes they can explain things a little better.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. So one of the things is, as we look to continue to grow the room and everything, if you had an opportunity to tell a young lady, elementary, middle school, or maybe even a high schooler that might be interested in trying wrestling for the first time, because I think wrestling's one of those sports, if you didn't start when you were 6, it doesn't feel like you can jump in later. What would you just say to those that would be new to the sport if they wanted to try it out?
Oh, I would say it's always worth a shot, especially in girls wrestling right now being so new. You do have some legacy girls, like I've seen little sisters of guys that I went to high school with, and, they're top ranked now, but you also see girls that maybe start their sophomore year and then they go and be a state champ their senior year. So, yeah, it's worth a shot.
Love it. Well, thank you very much, Brian. It was a pleasure to talk to you. And when we come back, we are going to talk to those 2 aforementioned ladies. We'll have Olivia Wise and Madeline McDonald up after the break. You're watching Bobcat Live here inside of Wayward at Rosie's.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social for date night, family fun, or the company party with plenty of space for everyone. Visit Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to start planning your group outing at Wayward Social, the place for fun.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Scooter's Coffee is going bananas, literally. Treat yourself to banana bread hot or iced lattes, creamy latte blenders, and fresh banana bread muffins. Need something refreshing? Sip a berry spritz soda, light, bubbly, and perfect any time of day. Craving cozy? Try salted caramel waffle lattes, hot or iced, or a smooth sea salt caramelicious as a latte, cold brew, or blender. And don't forget the French toasty sandwich, warm, sweet, and satisfying. Plus, Cinnalicious drinks are here for a limited time. Scooter's Coffee, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
Welcome back inside of Wayward at Rosie's. This is Bobcat Live, and we just want to thank everybody for coming out, and also want to remind you can sign up now at wayward-social.com for the Sunday, February 26th. It's a blind 9-pin double sweeper tournament. Bowlers sign up individually and are randomly placed into doubles before the event. That's $30 per bowler. Sounds like kind of a blind date situation there. It's right after Valentine's Day, so maybe you'll find a bowling partner, maybe you'll find a life partner. Who knows? But now let's get to the point at hand. We've got 2 of the best wrestlers on, actually, because it's a newer sport, almost in girls' history. You guys have 44 career wins, 40 career wins. There is only one young lady ahead of you, Gigi Lantigua, the first ever state qualifier in Marshalltown history. And you're tied with Mia Roberts, who is doing great things at the college level. You guys are in rarefied air. Madeline, I'll start with you. What does that seem like in your brain? Is that anything you had imagined when you got on the mat?
No. I look up to Mia Roberts. She's such an amazing wrestler. And to think that, I passed how many wins she had in her high school career is kind of just crazy.
Yeah. And for you, Olivia, you're tied with her, so you can't quite say that yet. But you are very, very close. What is that just in your mind? If you just think about that, look at that stats. You are tied with her. You're 6 behind Gigi. You're 4 behind Madeline. She may just put it out there for you. Who knows? But what does that mean to you?
It just means I have to try a little bit harder to try and, as I keep going up in high school, try to beat those records.
So, Olivia, I want to start with you. You know, last year you made it down to Coralville. Like we said, you weren't the first seed in that in districts, but you got to state. We've already talked. You said you learned a lot, but now that you get in this position again, how much better prepared do you think you are going into districts this weekend versus maybe last year?
I know this year that it's not going to be easy, and I have to go in with a winning mindset, and it's not going to be given to me. But I have more confidence this year and ready to cheer on my teammates.
And that's wrestling is always, it's one of my favorite spectator sports because you have one person on the mat, and it feels like it's the only sport where they just let coaches be crazy. Like, there is no rules over there. They can be as outlandish and crazy as possible. After you, ladies, we'll start with you, Madeline. You win a big match, and you look over at your coaches. Who would you say is the craziest one?
Definitely Cox.
Yeah. I've seen him on the sidelines for football quite a bit. I could definitely see that. Would you echo that? Yeah. Okay. So, Madeline, Olivia said the phrase, a winning mindset.
Yes.
How would you define what a winning mindset is?
You have to go in and you can't have any doubt. Like, you have to know, like, I can beat those girls, and you can't, like, have the little doubt that's like, no, maybe I can't. You have to just be like, nope, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to win it. This is my match, my tournament.
And so wrestling definitely is that interesting combination, very much an individual sport, very much a team sport. So when you thought of your own hopes coming into this year, and then look where you're at right now, what was your goal coming into this year?
My goal was to make it to state, and I think I'm going to. My girls, I know I can beat them. Yep. And I don't know. I just really wanted to go state.
That should be, I think, every wrestler that's playing in that level where you're starting varsity definitely should be. Now, I know you said it earlier in the season. I think we were talking at one point. You said state was a goal for you, and looking at your setup to be there again. Do you feel like you're primed and ready to give that your best effort to see the second state tournament for yourself?
Yeah, we've been working really hard trying to perfect my moves and working on confidence and all that, and I think we're ready.
So, Madeline, this year, as you've gone in, what is the one thing that you really feel like your game's elevated on the mat, that you really think you've grown as a wrestler?
I feel like I've grown in every aspect as a wrestler. This year, I've gotten a lot more, like, physical, and I've started using more of my technique. Before, it was kind of just, like, there. Yeah. But this year, I've gotten a lot better about using my technique and really being in the match with them.
Fantastic. And Olivia, I'm going to ask the same question for you.
Well, we have to be ready, and we work on our moves so that we can be ready. Yeah.
And when you look at your own journey from freshman year to senior year, what would be the one thing on the mat that you think you are light years ahead of where you were last year going into districts?
Being more aggressive when we're on our feet. Okay.
And you're looking at that, so when you're looking at being on your feet and things, so you've grown in that, and you said you've grown just in the approach. So when you're looking at a team dynamic, you guys got fifth at conference, looking at, having other teammates looking to make it to state as well. What is your role when you're off the mat? Like when you're not competing, it's not you, but you're watching a teammate. What do you think your biggest goal is to support them?
Making sure they know they're ready, they can do it, cheering them on, don't let them get down.
Yeah. How about you, man? The same question.
To be on, I always get on the side of the mat when they're wrestling, and I'm there cheering them on. I keep, encouraging them, telling them basically what the coaches are telling them at the same time, keep going, keep fighting, you're doing good.
So I'm going to ask the question. We already know that Coach Cox is the most crazy or psychotic of the coaches. Is there any girl wrestler that can at least match or come close to matching the energy that he brings?
I would say Nevaeh.
Nevaeh, okay.
Nevaeh,
Okay.
for sure.
All right, so we have Nevaeh and Coach Cox. So this is what I'm saying. I'm expecting Saturday that they have that freak-out chaos moment when you guys get your tickets for state. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been a great time learning more. Thank you for spilling the tea a little bit on Coach Cox and his psycho reaction. We love it all. But when we come back, we will have Coach Apple with the Marshalltown boys basketball team, and we'll get a little bit in segment 4. We'll get to hear a little bit about the student section and how Tyler Dorothy got the nickname Swervo. When we come back on Bobcat Live.
Brown's Shoe Fit has a great selection of athletic footwear, including Hoka, Brooks, On Cloud, Birkenstock, and Taos. Brown's Shoe Fit can find the right shoe for every occasion for both men and women, including dress shoes, casual shoes, work boots, and more. They carry multiple sizes and widths to ensure the best fit for you. Their expert-friendly staff will take the time to give you the service you deserve. Brown's Shoe Fit, downtown Marshalltown, with you every step of the way.
When you're craving something quick, tasty, and satisfying, think your Marshalltown Dairy Queens. From hot made-to-order favorites like burgers, chicken strips, and fries to the Dairy Queen classics you love, blizzards, cones, sundaes, and shakes. Be sure to check out the monthly featured treats and limited-time favorites, always giving you something new to try. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or a sweet treat, just because. Your Marshalltown Dairy Queens has you covered. 2 convenient locations, South Center Street and North 3rd Avenue in Marshalltown, where happy tastes good every day.
Have Van Wyck Wood Builders design and build the storage shed you need. So many different options to choose from. Van Wyck Wood Builders, just 5 miles south of I-80 in Grinnell on Highway 146. Online at vanwyckwoodbuilders.com.
Welcome back into Wayward Social. We're inside of Wayward Social at Rosie's for Bobcat Live, joined by Coach Michael Apple. Coach, let's get it out of the way. Tuesday night was not a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination, but how has your team responded since that?
Yeah, they've responded really well. Obviously, it's a hard lesson to learn, but you got to be prepared every game and have that same mindset of how we approach things and how we play and what makes us really good, and we didn't do that very well at Fort Dodge. Give Fort Dodge credit. I mean, they played extremely hard, did a lot of nice things offensively. You know, number 3 got going, made some shots, and their big guy inside. I mean, I don't want to make excuses, but that's one of the best games I've seen them play. But, I mean, ultimately we should have probably beat them. But it's just one of those deals.
Yeah, and that was the big kid inside, Brody Mayo, only a sophomore. It looked like he had taken kind of that sophomore jump in between games. He was far more effective. Zuspan, when you get a shooter that makes a couple, then they think, then they're unconscious, and if you don't get a hand up, they can roll. And one of the things I've noticed is if you get in the friendly confines of the Roundhouse versus being on the road, there is definitely has been some different execution on the road. Sometimes, and I wonder, I'd love to get your take on this, is you're playing some people that have not played at this level before, and that is pretty typical of a young team. You look at Damian Segovia, who, in the offseason we're talking about, hey, can he give us a couple minutes and then also maybe play some JV? That has not been his journey. So he's had to learn as a smaller guard how to defend, how to get a shot, where to pass, all that in the fire. And then you have Gavin Mishek, started off injured, then got in, but up and down. You look at Talon Halstead, he's a senior, but he's played more of his meaningful minutes. And then you look also at Lars. There's a lot of people like that. Do you think that is a piece that has kind of shown a little bit of the up and down, home versus away?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Fort Dodge specifically here, we had Lars and Gavin out.
Yeah.
That's been the first time this season we've had to do that. So you got a lot of guys playing a lot of minutes.
Yep.
And when we got Jamison playing a lot more minutes and in a role that he hasn't been in as much this year. So it just kind of bumps everyone up. And, we didn't get much further than talent on the bench, obviously, but the way guys are kind of practicing specifically today, some of these JV guys, you got to be ready and have they might have an opportunity tomorrow, just depending on foul trouble, depending on how the game's going. So everyone needs to stay ready and be ready to roll. And like you said, we've been pretty decent at home, haven't been very good on the road, and this is a tough test at Waterloo East, who's very good at home as well. They're 5-2 at home, and their only losses are against number 1 Cedar Falls and number 5 Ames. So that says it all right there.
And I was going to mention Waterloo East may have one of the stronger crowd support and advantages up there in Waterloo East. Is there anything special you say in a week going into more of a hostile environment, be it in Ames, be it Waterloo East, be it where you're going to hear it? Is there anything you mentioned during practice, or you just kind of be like better left unsaid and just kind of play basketball?
It's more so just the toughness and understanding that they're going to be fired up and ready to play us, and it's going to be physical, and they're going to, pressure the ball, and they're going to try and deny us on the wings and make it hard for us to get into offense. So we got to take all those things into consideration with it being loud.
Yeah.
They're having at times hard time hearing me at Fort Dodge, and I didn't think that gym was necessarily that loud. So we got to understand that if there's a play called, everyone needs to know what we're doing and echo it and make sure we're all on the same page. Our execution at Fort Dodge wasn't at our best either. That's got to be a lot better on Friday in a tough environment like that.
Yeah, and it's Fort Dodge, we always get a little bit of a front seat to see that, because we're right behind the bench, and you can see when plays aren't executed, and you can see it almost immediately. But I'd love to know, when we've talked about the ups and downs maybe of kids playing for the first time at this type of environment, if you would look back at the beginning of the season and you've seen the way now Lars out with the shoulder, but you've seen the way he's played in that starting lineup, you've seen the way that Damien has looked in that starting lineup. If you were promised what they're doing right now back before the season, would you take it?
Absolutely. No, they've excelled our expectations. Above and beyond. You just don't know as freshmen what's going to happen. And you can see without Lars in, we got guys that are just, it's tough. It takes everyone, and everyone has a role. And Lars plays his role extremely well with defending and rebounding and keeping balls alive and kind of just always being in the right spots. So we're definitely missing him. There's no doubt. But like I said, it's part of the game. Injuries, we got to have guys step up and be ready to play.
And you talk about that, and Lars is one. I was talking to his dad early in the season, just said, hey, it takes a special kind of kid to go from a scorer the whole time coming up to being like, all right, if I'm going to play varsity, I'm going to play a very specific role, and for him to saying, yeah, I want to meet that challenge. What can you say about a kid that has always been one of the major scorers, really willing to guard whoever you want, get as many offensive rebounds, do everything that's dirty, and maybe that doesn't show up in box scores? What does it say about him?
Oh, it's great. You got to have guys like that, obviously, and I think that comes with just his knowledge of the game is very high for a freshman. He understands a lot of concepts. He understands scout. He understands different situations that we put him in, where you have to react at a quicker rate than playing at a freshman level, obviously, and understanding his role. That's not an easy thing in itself to be able to do that and understand there's going to be games where I'm not going to necessarily need to score a lot and be okay with that. It's great to have guys like that.
And final thing, we're going to have Tyler Dorothy on after that. He's one of your seniors, definitely beloved by all student section and on the team. What is his time on the team and having him out meant to you? What does he bring, both the coaching staff just being around him, from a coach's perspective?
It's been great. We've seen a lot of growth with Tyler, just his maturity and his behavior and how he acts and understanding his role on the team is important. He's an energy guy. He's locked in every game. He's not joking around. He's focused. He's ready to go. And you see our bench, during games, and I might be the only one that looks at this stuff maybe as a coach, but like our bench during timeouts, everyone's
Puts
got their arms
around each
them,
other.
and we're all locked into one thing, and no one else is talking. I mean, that's things like that. It's contagious on just doing things the right way, being prepared, everyone all in together, and then Tyler's a huge part of that, and that's he's a guy, he knows he's probably not going to get a lot of minutes, but he understands I'm here and I have a purpose. I'm going to work hard in practice. I'm going to know the scout. I'm going to show up. I'm going to be on time. We hold everyone to the same standards, and he's followed that greatly. And I'm incredibly proud of the young man he has become.
And we know when he does get those minutes, that shot is going up,
That's
buddy.
exactly right.
That thing is going up. He has earned that right. I will forever swear if Tyler Dorothy's out there, he can get those shots up. He gets my seal of approval. Well, thank you very much, Coach. And we are, after the break, going to bring up the aforementioned Tyler Dorothy. You're watching Bobcat Live here at Wayward Social.
Looking for top-notch eye care close to home? Eye Care Associates, with offices in Marshalltown, Conrad, and Toledo, has proudly served Central Iowa since 1990. Their expert team provides eye exams for all ages, designer frames, contact lens fittings, and treatment for glaucoma, cataracts, and other eye conditions. With advanced technology, a welcoming staff, and convenient online booking, your next visit is easier than ever. Visit visionsource-marshalltowneyecare.com today. Eye Care Associates, your vision is their priority.
Eat at Legends American Grill in Marshalltown and support the Bobcats when you order the Bobcat Burger. 2 juicy quarter-pound beef patties stacked with crispy bacon, sautéed onions, and a mouth-watering blend of American, cheddar, Jack, and Swiss cheeses, all on a toasted bun with fresh shredded lettuce. And here's the best part. $1 from every Bobcat burger sold goes to Marshalltown High School activities. Satisfy your burger craving and support the Bobcats at the same time. Only at Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
We do more than just t-shirts and hoodies. Check with Adlet Engraving and Screen Print for awards, lasered items, embroidery, and of course, imprinted apparel. 307 Riverside, right here in Marshalltown. Easy parking, delivery is available.
Welcome back in. There we go with the applause sign. We got it. Thank you very much, Kendall, back there. Girls basketball team bringing the claps. But it is now my privilege and pleasure to invite you and to also say, Tyler Dorothy, thank you for joining us here tonight, a.k.a. Swervo. So, Tyler, I want to start off our interview. I want to point you to the monitor for my choice for Play of the Year. Will you watch this with me? This is the Hoover game, and there it is. Tyler Dorothy,
Dude,
corner three.
Felt amazing.
So, yeah, walk us through that. Walk us through that. Hoover, you get it in the corner right in front of the student section.
Well, I got the corner, and I did not think Gav was going to pass the ball because he's left-handed. He was on the left side. I thought he was going to rip and drive, and I caught it. I was like, oh, crap. I just let it fly.
Yeah.
And then I thought I was going to airball at first. I ain't gonna lie. I saw it go in. I was like, whoa.
And then the crowd, then the student section erupts behind you. Is it something where you can hear it, or is it something where you're just inside your head?
Oh, I heard it all right. It was loud. And I was like, I actually made that three. I turned around, I didn't even know what to do because I don't get much play time to make a lot of threes. Just threw something up.
Yeah, you had the 3 sign up. I noticed that thing right away. But we did have a moment before that game started.
I told you I was going to do my part.
You said, I'm walking in, getting ready to call the girls' game. You go, I'm going to do my part. And I said, all right, I'll do my part. And then later that night, there it is with the 3. But that right there is, like, that defines you to me quite a bit. One is love basketball on the team, but also connected as a crowd favorite. One I'd like to hit from being a senior on this squad. You guys have seen growth every year and win total the way you're playing. What has it meant to you to be on the Bobcat basketball team through your high school?
Well, it's been amazing. Like, if you look at last year, this time last year we had, 5 wins?
Yep.
Going to the locker room every time, just sad. And then these past couple weeks have been rough, but before that, I just felt amazing, actually getting wins, and I feel like we were a much better team. We've improved in everything. It helps we have these new freshmen. Damien's been a really good player to add. Lars plays defense, Gavin, and Talon's taking a step up too. So it's just really nice seeing the improvement on everyone around me.
Yeah, Talon's got that wonderful skill of being 6'5" with long arms, and he gets some swats when he's out there. He can grab a rebound. I think he's actually kind of an underrated passer. I think he's a pretty good passer as well. But when you're looking on that, mostly playing on the bench, so the bench, if you played sports, you know that benches matter.
Yeah.
It's not just the guys on the court. So when you're looking at your practice time and when you're looking as you're locked in during the game, what do you see your role as?
Well, to get everyone going, because there's some sophomores, this is the first time student varsity, like Oliver and Garrett, so I got to tell them, like, you can't just chop it up on the bench all the time. You got to clap, get everyone going. So it's just, when I start clapping, it's just everyone kind of joins in, then the whole bench gets loud. And then just kind of getting everyone going on the bench that's not there to talk, you're there to help them, because even though you don't play, they still need your help.
Yeah, and it's still that team dynamic from practice all the way through, and I think that's just one that a lot of people, if you haven't played on a team, you don't really recognize that. But then let's talk, one of the things we've been talking about that I want to talk with you is kind of give me some secrets of the student section. I know you're not over there.
Sadly.
For basketball games, but I know like your influence is felt over there. Can you give us some insights into the student section? I want to know from cheers to apparel to like what theme it is. Give me all the stuff about the student section.
So for the themes, even though I'm not in there, me and a couple of my co-leaders, we decided what we wanted to do. And for games like Ames at Home, we have the like quote-unquote tough themes that you want to look good for. And then you have the games like Cedar Rapids, Jefferson, where it was just kind of a fun one, because then you also got to think of everyone. Like, there's some people, maybe they don't want to dress up as camo, maybe they want to do a costume, so that's when we fit in some of those fun themes too. And also the chants. Before the first game, I had big notes app of just a bunch of different chants for them to run.
I love it.
And even though I'm not supposed to be Don't Tell Coach Apple, but I look at them and I tell them get louder or what chant to run sometimes.
Oh, we know.
During the game.
I know. I've been given information. That's why I needed to know.
I got to make sure he's not looking when I do it though.
Yeah. I've heard there's some hand signals that happen, which is one of my favorite things of all time. So if you were one thing that is often mentioned, I think Keith right over here is the one who mentions it a lot, is why don't Brandon and I ever start a segment instead of on the court in the student section?
Like start recording from in there?
What, like we do some preview, before the games, we'll do it from the court, usually when you guys are warming up. Do you think that would be a good idea or a terrible idea? And if it's a good idea, do you think you could help us out?
Well, I think it would be a good idea because it would be pretty fun, but you also got to think, student section's big, a lot of immature people. I mean, they might act up. I can't control that. There's a bunch of freshmen back there that were pretty rowdy.
So if I would work with you to kind of give me some fixers in there, some people that I know that would be okay, plants if you will, do you think that would be a good idea?
Yeah, I think they would love it too, because give them some attention too.
All right, it's now documented on video that Swervo thinks it's a good idea. Now my last question for you.
How'd I get the nickname?
How'd you get the name Swervo?
So in 8th grade, I thought I was a little thug and I wanted to start a rap career. And
I love it.
I found on TikTok that name, and it just kind of stuck with me, even though after 8th grade I wanted nothing to do with it anymore. Just know everyone from my freshman to sophomore year, that's what everyone called me, and it was so annoying. But kind of since then, I've just kind of embraced it, and it's just kind of shows my also growth as a person. From 8th grade, wanted to be a little trapper and rapper, to now the person I am now, and it just kind of stuck with me. And I used to hate it, but I kind of love it now.
It's that nickname. And I've never, and it's always said, I think with I don't know anybody that doesn't like you. Like, I hear it all. I know David Bragg over here, he can be mean sometimes, so maybe he's said some things, but know that I defend you. I defend you every time in the Kicks vehicle. I said, David, that's not good. Swervo's my guy. Well, Swervo is my guy. I appreciate this time immensely, man. I appreciate it.
Thank
you. You did your part. I did my part.
And
then tomorrow night, let's just take down Waterloo East. Sound good?
Hopefully I get to go in. That means we're winning.
That's right. All righty. After that, we'll talk to Coach Brian Murphy, who just picked up his 10th win on the year with the Marshalltown Girls Bobcat team when we come back here at Wayward.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social for date night, family fun, or the company party with plenty of space for everyone. Visit Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to start planning your group outing at Wayward Social, the place for fun.
From preschool to graduation day, Marshalltown Community School District prepares students for success in a global world. Embrace the lead with curriculum that prepares students for tomorrow's challenges, giving your child unmatched college and career advantages. Embrace the lead by developing talents beyond the classroom through extracurricular opportunities and by focusing on student well-being and whole child development. Create a global learning community right here in Marshalltown. Learn more at marshalltown.k12.ia.us.
Refinance your auto loan with Members First Community Credit Union. For a limited time, refinance your auto loan from another lender and receive 1% cash back up to $500. Scan the QR code to apply online. Call us or visit a Members First branch.
Welcome back into Bobcat Live. Here live with Coach Brian Murphy. Coach, last night, year number 2 in a row, go up off Highway 20 and snag a close victory against the Fort Dodge Dodgers. Looking at that game, really gutsy play down in that fourth quarter, third and fourth quarter. Thought you guys played really, really well. What was the thing that you brought out from that game, talking to the girls afterwards?
We were pretty beat up going into that game. Yep. Fatigue was absolutely a factor in that first quarter, especially. We had 9 turnovers, looked super rusty. But at the end of the day, we did enough to win. It was one of those games where even though we were down a few in the third quarter, I think we all felt like we were going to win the game. We just had to make enough plays to get there, and certainly we kept it closer than it should have been. We could have made our lives a little easier at the free throw line, but at the end of the day, we got the win, and that's what goes in the record book. So.
And then when you look at that, the 10 wins, you look at sweeping Mason City, sweeping Fort Dodge. Those were the teams that were kind of the teams you were a bit chasing early last couple years of seeing, hey, can break through. You broke through Mason City, hadn't won in 31 games, and then being able to do it both home and away. What do you think the big difference is? And of course, teams change, talent changes on teams, but what do you think that big change is from last year to this year, even when the players, for the most part, are the same?
I think there's probably 2 things. So, number one, I think as a group, we're just a lot more mature. I will tell you, it's a much less stressful experience as a coach, where even in some of these tight games where we've got faith in the girls to kind of get settled, make good decisions, and kind of get things to where they need to be. So, Megan and I were joking about the fact that, for years it felt like I was over-coaching, where I was trying to tell them everything to do on the floor, and now I kind of sit back and let them do what needs to be done because they've earned that trust. So certainly the maturity as the group as a whole, and then, the other thing that really has made a huge difference is getting Amara back this season, because with her out on the floor, all of our positions kind of fall into line, where suddenly everybody's got really clearly defined roles. And we had a lot of people playing out of position last year, and this year we haven't had to do that as much. And so, that combination of maturity and then kind of the way everybody complements each other as a group has really made this season very successful.
And when you look at it, some of those big wins have come because you've locked it away in the fourth quarter. Because there was opportunities last year specifically where you would be in games, and then that fourth quarter, and it was one of those what could have been finishes. This year, it's much different. It seems like, all right, then we locked it down in the fourth quarter. Lincoln early this year was the one that really jumped out. It was close, and then that fourth quarter, that was the first one where you really locked down. Do you think that is connected exactly to what you said, that maturity piece to it, or are there other factors that help that?
I think maturity absolutely plays a role where it does feel like, I think sometimes, especially early in the games, kind of like we saw against Fort Dodge, we can get a little loose with the ball sometimes. We're trying to force things there. And, I mean, to the team's credit, as the game gets later in the game, it gets tighter. Our decision-making generally gets better for the most part, which is a sign of maturity. I think the other thing, and I have no explanation for this, for some reason we seem to shoot better when our legs are tired. I mean, I think a majority of our threes this year have come late in the games where, I think, and I'm trying to remember what game it was, where we hit 3 threes in the fourth quarter after couldn't hit anything early in the game, and it's like we were just waiting till the end when they mattered. So that kind of shooting pattern is something that's kind of emerged as well this year, and we seem to hit just enough when they matter, and that's kind of what we've been writing on.
And looking right at Kendall, who's hit 3 threes already this week, and not afraid. She's come back into the lineup. Both her and Amara Johnson, I think, defensively, they really can be quite pesky on those guards. Specifically, Amara's going to be on right after this. You can see on the court when she's guarding people the whole way, they get visibly agitated on that. Having her back in the lineup and having a guard that doesn't seem to get tired and can guard somebody that closely for 94 feet, what does that do for your defense?
Yeah, I mean, it's really fun to have people that we feel like we can really, kind of go mess with somebody and that's, I mean, honestly, when we scouted Fort Dodge, I mean, our eyes get big when it's like they're starting a freshman point guard. Go have some fun with her.
Right.
Because, I mean, that was us for a long time, and now we're the ones that get to go have a little bit of fun with some underclassmen on the other team. So those opportunities are great, and the great thing is when you've got people that are able to pressure the ball, like Amara, like Kinsley, like Kendall, when you've got length and speed behind them, suddenly you create opportunities, and it's amazing how often those two things happen simultaneously, where the anticipation on the backside, the kind of synchronous nature of our defense sometimes really comes out when the ball pressure gets ratcheted up.
And then when you're able to pressure the perimeter, and then you have someone back in the lane that can wipe away mistakes. And the other junior, Frankie Long, what can you say about having that type of shot blocker in the back, and then her maturation to now? She used to be able to change the game, block shots, rebounds, defense, and now we're seeing her be even more effective offensively. Where have you seen that growth in her, and how does she impact both ends of the court?
Yeah, I mean, certainly defense is something that she's brought to the team for 3 years now. But I think the thing you love as a coach is when the results on the floor represent the work that's happened off the floor. I mean, Frankie's been coming to open gym since 8th grade. I mean, working on footwork, working on left hand, to the point where she's almost forgotten how to use her right hand. But it's something that you only develop over time, and it's something that is a product of hard work. And I mean, fundamentally, that's what you want as a coach, is you want kids' hard work to be recognized. It's exciting when it happens early, where sometimes you have somebody blossom as a senior, and Frankie's somebody that's kind of been that slow development. Certainly she's made a leap this year, and we're just kind of expect her to keep making those leaps. And the great thing is every game presents a different challenge, right? Where certainly Fort Dodge had somebody with the size to match up, but not necessarily the speed, and in some cases the basketball IQ. But we know, Waterloo East has somebody that slowed us down a little bit the first time. So kind of embracing that challenge, or recognizing what worked last game may not work at this time, is another part of maturity.
And you talk about Waterloo East, that's always feisty. That's always a big matchup. It's always loud. There's usually a technical. It's all of the things. And I will tell you, I was not there to call the Waterloo East Marshalltown game here at the Roundhouse. I was in Magic Kingdom. I was right by the castle, and my phone starts blowing up about Millie just hit a 3 to send it into overtime. So here I am on my phone right by the castle in Magic Kingdom watching overtime on KFJB-TV, being also cheering and yelling at my phone, again, at the happiest place on earth. Now, that one didn't come out our way. Very tight loss. What do you think has to be different tomorrow night to be able to take home the W and be able to get that loss back?
I mean, the number one thing with Waterloo is their best offense is their defense.
Yep.
I mean, they're very good at anticipating passes. Their guards are very aggressive on the ball. They're good about getting into passing lanes, that sort of thing. And so, I mean, I felt like we kept them in it in that first game where we were allowing them some easy points because they really didn't score consistently in the half court. We were allowing them to kind of make up for some of their poor shooting with some transition opportunities. So as long as we control the pace of the game, and we know we want to be a slow-down game because that benefits us. And so as long as we control the pace, take care of the ball, we love our chances, but it's one of those things where, I mean, it's easy to say that in theory. It's just a matter of getting out there. And like you said, I mean, I would say that Waterloo East probably has the most, one of the most difficult gyms to play in. It's incredibly loud. The crowd is on top of you in a lot of cases. So that added to the actual presence on the floor of the defensive players. I mean, that it's a challenge, and so it's something we've got to make sure we kind of go in with our head on straight, knowing that that's what's coming.
Yeah, I always say it's my favorite place to call a game that's not the Roundhouse. I just love the energy. So I'm a little sad when they combine schools because that goes away. But you look at that. We talked with Coach Apple. Why do they struggle on away, but they play really well at home? You all don't have that same type of breakdown, really. You've had some losses, both on the road, but you've also had them home. You've played really well on the road at times as well. Do you sense a difference playing home, away, from your perspective?
We don't. I think that the one thing I will say is, I mean, the group collectively does a pretty good job of getting each other focused. And so, I mean, it feels like once they get in the locker room, we've got the right mindset. And so, there are times where that is almost easier on the road where you don't necessarily have other people walking around. I mean, you're pretty much with just your team. But, overall, the group does a pretty good job of focusing and getting themselves ready to go. And that kind of circles back to that maturity we talked about earlier.
Fantastic. Right after this, we get to talk to Amara and to Frankie. Big assets to the team. Is there anything additionally you want to say about those two young ladies?
I mean, they're both a pleasure to coach. I don't know if they could be more different personality-wise, but that's what makes it fun. And as Amara glares at me, as I'm used to these days. But yeah, no, they're great to coach. They've been great to have around, and it's exciting that we get them at least for another year next year. So that's always the fun part. So.
Love it. And when we come back, we'll talk to Amara Johnson and Frankie Long here on Bobcat Live.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown. With their extensive inventory, you're sure to make a winning selection when you shop McGregor's for your bedroom, living room, and dining room furnishings. McGregor's has the right play for every room in your home. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is proud to be your locally owned and operated furniture store since 1896 and very proud to support Bobcat Athletics again this season. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, open 7 days a week.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Refinance your auto loan with Members First Community Credit Union. For a limited time, refinance your auto loan from another lender and receive 1% cash back up to $500. Scan the QR code to apply online. Call us or visit a Members First branch.
Welcome back in with Frankie Long and Amara Johnson here, both juniors on the Marshalltown girls basketball team. I want to talk about a couple things. One, you swept Mason City and you swept Fort Dodge. We'll start with you, Frankie. How does it feel to be able to sweep both of those teams?
I think it was good because those teams, like, we both match up equally, and it's just a matter of, like, who wants it that night. And I think both teams, we showed that.
Amara.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I mean, after 2 years of being defeated by them so horribly,
Yeah.
it's good to just get that win, and step on them hard.
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't just the last couple years. Before you all beat Mason City this year, you had not beat Mason City since 2009. That was 31 losses in a row. I'm surprised you all didn't know that. Yeah, 31. I don't know how long it's been since you swept them. I know my freshman son was not alive the last time they Mason City won. That's how long it's been. So it was a bigger deal than just lost to him the last couple times. Now, I've had technicals in my career. I appreciate a good technical. And I really thought, Amara, you might get teed up the other night. And it was in a very different way than I think the way that Frankie can get teed up. Frankie, it's yes. Oh, there was one that I wondered. And it was you smiled and gave a thumbs up after a foul call on you. I was like, I wonder if they think that maybe Amara's smile and thumbs up. I almost wondered, is she going to get a technical for a thumbs up? Because I'd never seen that response after the foul ever. So it was a smile and the thumbs up. And I didn't know if they'd think it was mocking, but they let it go. So I thought, is she going to be the first person ever to get a technical for smiling and giving a thumbs up?
Oh, I kind of did it towards Murphy.
Okay.
Anytime after I get a foul, I look at him to know if it was really bad or not.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Well, now I know what to look for after you get a foul. That's fantastic. So, Frankie, looking at your game, and one thing we talk a lot about, we can have the same officiating crew for a guy's game and a girl's game. I always feel the girl's game is wildly inconsistent compared to can call a really clean guy's game, and it feels like girls basketball is just incredibly difficult to call, and then especially being 6'2", and where I call them, sometimes Frankie gets fouls called because she's 6'2", not because she fouled anybody. How do you try to keep a level head when it's difficult to know how you're going to be called?
Well, usually in the first quarter, it tells me if they're going to call 3 on me. Then I'm like, okay, I have to back off. But sometimes they call 1, and then they call 4 in, the third quarter.
Yep.
But Megan just tells me that sometimes it's not a foul. I just look violent, and I just need to, not look violent.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that I like that phrase. That makes sense. And for you, Amara, one thing that I absolutely love watching, and I saw it against Fort Dodge, you're guarding the point guard 94 feet. You can do 94 yards if you want, but 94 feet across the whole court, and you can see them visibly getting frustrated with you. Would you rather make somebody frustrated and get a steal or score a bucket? What's more joyful for you?
Maybe just get a steal. I can't really finish right now, so I think just get a steal and then have Millie or someone finish it.
Maybe if you learned how to dunk, that would be helpful. So you just dunk. That might be the best way to do it.
I mean, honestly, I can do it. Murphy just tells me not to in game, but at practice, you pop in there just slamming it all the time. So
because I played mostly in the high school in the 1900s, we actually did have that rule that you couldn't try to dunk. Our coach always said it and if you try and you miss, you're out of the game. That actually was taught to us. I never had to worry about it, but others did. Now, Frankie, for you, is it better to grab a bucket around the rim or just swat somebody, get that big block? What do you prefer?
Probably just scoring because, I've had blocks. I've had a lot of blocks,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
scoring is, something I need to work on more.
Okay. And so when you're thinking about what's the next thing that you think, if I can grab this piece to my game, it'll unlock another thing?
Using, both my hands, like Murphy says. I always kind of go to the left, but then, go to the right. I just, don't think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked to that a little bit about that is understanding that left is so great. But sometimes it's the easier play of just power dribble up through. But for you, Amara, what's that next step for your game to get you to that next level?
Probably get back healthy and then work on finishing.
Yeah, just finishing through. That's those are great things because you add those. It's those hidden 6 to 8 points. And that really, those hidden couple points, you've got Waterloo East, lost in overtime by 1 point. Frankie, when you look at that matchup, when you look at the first matchup, lose by 1 versus this matchup, what do you think that you can do differently or in addition to what you did last time to make up for that 1-point loss?
I just think of it as like just a new game.
Yep.
You just have to bring it, everyone.
And Amara, for you?
Yeah, new game mindset. Next
Yeah.
play mindset is definitely something good to have.
So, and my final question, and then I'll let you girls go, I promise. Do you prefer to be booed on the road after a great play or being cheered at home after a big play? Frankie, we'll start with you.
Cheered at home.
Okay.
Cheered at home.
Yeah.
You guys are much nicer than I am. I always like the boos, and it doesn't seem like a lot of people are with me on that one. But I believe you guys are going to get a lot of cheers and boos on the road tomorrow. Bring home that win against Waterloo East, and we'll have that right on KFJB-TV. We will start looping at 6 o'clock, and then we'll have the tip-off and the full game. Hopefully we've got another, just like Mason City last week, we'll get a doubleheader sweep, and we'll come back happy. When we come back, we will have David Humblebraga to explain why he doesn't like Swervo on Bobcat Live.
Have Van Wyck Wood Builders design and build the storage shed you need. So many different options to choose from. Van Wyck Wood Builders, just 5 miles south of I-80 in Grinnell on Highway 146. Online at vanwyckwoodbuilders.com.
At Lennox Employees Credit Union, you're more than a member, you're family. Since 1948, we've been helping members and their families save more, borrow smarter, and reach their financial goals. Whether it's a low-rate auto loan, a mortgage that feels manageable, or simply a savings account that grows with you, we're here to make banking simple and stress-free. Discover the credit union difference today. Visit Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main in Marshalltown, where people helping people is more than a motto. It's who we are. Learn more at lennoxecu.com. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
We do more than just t-shirts and hoodies. Check with Adlet Engraving and Screen Print for awards, lasered items, embroidery, and of course, imprinted apparel. 307 Riverside, right here in Marshalltown. Easy parking, delivery is available.
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East Southridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
You've got goals. You need a plan. Don't waste time or money. At Marshalltown Community College, you get the power to choose. Transfer to a 4-year university or step straight into a career in healthcare or trades. Small classes, caring faculty, real-world experience. Marshalltown Community College. Your future starts now.
Welcome back into Bobcat Live. Here in our final segment entitled, Why Does Braga Not Like Swervo? David, how can you defend yourself?
I'd like to say that the KFJB-TV lawyers are going to be on the phone with you as soon as we break here because I love Tyler Dorothy. I love both the basketball teams. Having a great year so far.
Yeah, I could say I just looked out and I said, you know what, I want to throw David under the bus. But really, David, one thing that I've wanted to do is when we have open segments is to kind of highlight some different people that are behind the cameras. Elijah Bond right now filling in as a producer, one of those behind the cameras.
He changed my title. It was supposed to be
Oh,
David
it's supposed to be David Humblebragger, and he's already making executive decisions.
He is.
Not good ones, by the way, either. We also have the one and only Keith Stewart over to our left, he is everyone's favorite. Coach Apple will tell you that straight to your face. But a lot of the people behind the scenes that make this happen. So, David, I just want to give you an opportunity to say a little bit of what you do with KFJB-TV, and then just what it means to be a part of the production. What are you most excited about being a part of this team?
Yeah, so typically for games, I'll be behind the computer screen, making sure that the replays run smooth, firing off all of our breaks to get those advertisements in, and making sure you and Brandon sound good. So I do a lot of that.
Can't do anything about the looks, but the sound.
As a radio guy, I've got the face for it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why they stick me behind the computer. But it's been a lot of fun. I love, Marshalltown kid. Went to high school, graduated in 2016, and I want to shout out the girls team. They won 10 games last year, and then now this year.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And I think my senior year in high school, the girls team won 1 game. So shout out to you guys back there. I think my entire career in high school, we won 9 games. So you guys have done that each of the last 2 years, and I love cheering you guys on. And boys team as well. I know big fan of Kyle Smith. I graduated with his brother Tony, and I love watching those kids. It's been fun to watch every single one of them go through that program. And Kyle.
And there's another one to come.
There is another one.
There is another one to come. But, yeah, it's just I wanted to give you that highlight because, of course, David bleeds red and blue. He bleeds one other color that we won't talk about here.
It's right here. I wore it just for you.
Yeah, it's been censored.
Well, and actually,
Elijah's got that pixelated. It's fine.
Actually, I wore it for Brandon, who's at the game tonight, and last I checked, it was like 44-25 or something like that going into the half.
Are they ahead?
Yeah. So.
Well, you got that going for you.
It was like 30-4 at one point. So I'm sure Brandon's having a heck of a time.
Well, I'm having a heck of a time because I'm with one of my favorite people, David Humblebragger, David Babyface Braga. David needs to learn how to watch some killer movies. I had to pay $5 so he'd finally watch a movie, Dumb and Dumber.
This is true.
But he is a pleasure to have on the team. A little bit of a late ad a couple years ago, but it's been absolute pleasure. Tomorrow night, we get to hang out again because we're traveling up to Waterloo East. It will be a fiery matchup in there. If you can't make the travel, of course, turn on KFJB-TV on YouTube or on Facebook. And if you haven't, please subscribe. And just put a reminder up there. It'll tell you when the broadcast goes live. It's been awesome as always inside of Wayward at Rosie's. We'll see you tomorrow night